build this empire around them that allows them to grow faster and make more content and show up in different ways. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Decision Maker Show. My goal for this show is to help you become more empowered in the decisions that you're making in your life and in your business through sharing some stories of things that I've experienced either through my own journey growing a multiple seven-figure business or through stories from the clients that I've coached through the process to have the same end result. Something I want to talk about today that I'm super excited about. I just got home from attending a mastermind with Russell Brunson at Clickfunnels headquarters, which I've never gotten to go to before. So it was really cool to see where all of the magic happens, where everybody's there working on Clickfunnels. And I've seen so much of the office through friends and people's stories that I admire, and getting to spend time there was like coming home for me, because that software is like my community. They're my people. They've helped me get to this point that I am in my business. I would not be nearly as successful as I am now if I had not discovered the Clickfunnels software. So just a little plug for them after getting to spend some time, just being there in their community and their office and their headquarters. It was absolutely amazing. But in that time that I got to hang out at the Clickfunnels headquarters, there was a mastermind for 2 days full of other 7- and 8-figure entrepreneurs, and everybody got a chance to get up on stage and present a hot seat. But the way they did this hot seat was really cool in that people got up, and part of what they were asked to give was not just asking a question about what they need in their business, but instead giving a 20-minute give. So they stood up on stage and they thought through, like, what is the most valuable thing that I'm doing in my business right now? And what can I share with this room of other people that, already have their businesses together? They're already successful. So what is the one secret that you have that could make people who are already successful even more successful? So it was kind of a lot of pressure, right? For me to come up with an ask or a give that I thought would be valuable for that room, but also the level and the quality of what was presented in those 2 days was absolutely mind-blowing. So what I want to share today are a few different examples of things that I learned from having a seat at the table, sitting right next to Russell Brunson and hearing everyone else talk about their amazing businesses in all sorts of different industries. So the first thing that I really took away from those 2 days, that it's a quote that I've heard before, but it really hit home this time. The quote is that you can't read the label from inside of the bottle. So how often do we get stuck in our own heads and we think through things and we try to, I know I will over-intellectualize almost everything in my business, and I will think forward and I'll think backwards and I'll try to, come up with all those solutions, and I'll try to do it in a vacuum without anyone to answer questions or without, asking my clients or my students what they think about the question that I'm asking. I get so bottled up and so stuck in my own thoughts that if I just go outside of myself, the answers are right there. So spending 2 days with all of these high achievers and these amazing business owners, all my questions were answered. And somebody said that quote up on stage of, like, you can't read the label from inside the bottle. And it just reminded me to not always be a lone wolf. Sometimes I think I have to do it on my own. I've been copied a lot. I've got competitors who are trying to steal my stuff. So I feel like I have to be very quiet about what I'm doing, or, I risk other people taking what I have, but they're never going to be able to take what I have. They're never going to know what I'm doing next. I'm going to be 5 moves ahead of any competitor. So why not open up and be more generous with my questions? And I say generous because when I bottle things up too much and I don't provide value for other people, and I'm afraid to ask questions, or I'm afraid to be judged or look like I'm not successful, or I don't have it all figured out, that's just closing me off from being able to give in all sorts of other ways and give generously my ideas, but also it shuts me down from being able to receive from other people too. In 2022, my word of the year, how everybody picks a word of the year, mine was receive, because I'm typically very bad at receiving compliments. I brush them off. I'm bad at receiving celebrations and celebrating myself. So this was just a reminder of that, getting myself in the right rooms and being around the right people who can help me read the label, and they can see my blind spots and they can see where I'm stuck much more easily than I can. So instead of just cycling on the same ideas, which, let me know if you've ever done that. I think it's something so common for visionaries. You can look back 6 months or a year and realize I was asking myself the same questions then, or I was cycling on some of the same patterns then. The faster you can get feedback, or join a mastermind, or get a coach, or find a community that can help you answer some of those questions, it's going to help you get out from inside of the bottle and be able to see things for what they really are. The second thing that always stands out to me after seeing other people's business models and having people stand up on the stage and be like, oh, I'm only making $3 million a month. And I'm like, oh my gosh, wow, that's amazing. But success leaves clues. So if you are looking at different business owners, you start identifying patterns, and not to copy them. Like I said in the last point, like we don't want to copy other people. We don't want to model or funnel hack too closely, but you can notice patterns of what other people are doing that helps make them successful. So I noticed early on, like successful people were taking care of their bodies. They were exercising, they were eating healthy, they weren't drinking alcohol, they were getting up early, they were reading, they were journaling, they were spiritually very healthy. So I started doing some of those things in my own life. I started getting up early. I am not naturally a morning person. Trust me, I used to avoid taking any classes before 10 a.m. when I was in college, probably because I was out, partying it up until 2 a.m. the night before. But I learned that these little habits that you can stack ultimately lead to a lot more success, because when I'm exercising, I have better ideas. When I'm not drinking wine at night, I wake up earlier and I can journal and I can work through some of those ideas even faster. So all of these little things start compounding, and I feel more confident, and I'm showing up on video more, and I'm making hiring decisions, and I'm sending out uncomfortable emails to people to help me reach the next level of visibility, or get on a podcast, or be a guest expert for somebody. You make more decisions about stepping out of your comfort zone when you have all these other patterns in place. So when you watch other high achievers, their success is going to leave clues for you, and not just about their personal lives or how they're behaving, what their personal development actually looks like, but when it comes to business too. Something I noticed about a lot of people in that room was how much they're bringing their team in to help, and how much they're stepping out of even the coaching inside of their group programs and inside of their other stuff. They're hiring or they're training their students to become such experts that they're able to step back from their own coaching and actually build this empire around them that allows them to grow faster and make more content and show up in different ways than if they're too busy working in their own businesses. They get to step back a little bit and just be the visionary and do what we do best as visionaries, and be able to have the ideas instead of spinning around in just the ideation of them. We can hire people on our teams who have learned from us, know our systems, and I'm actually going to be launching a certification program later this year that I'm super excited about, so that I can really help create a ripple effect of impact for what I've learned over the last 3 years by training other strategists to do the things that I've learned how to do. So if you're interested in that, send me a DM, of course. But that's something that I really became clear for me at this mastermind, is how much success leaves clues, and to stop working so hard to try to come up with everything original, and to launch programs or coach in industries that have no competition. That's actually a bad thing. I want you to launch in niches that have a lot of competition, and then you can create a niche that is, I heard someone say this, Pedro Adeo said this the other day, create a niche that is so small that you're the only one in it. So you start building a business based on your personal brand, and then competition is going to be irrelevant. And I'd love to talk more about that when I have more time. But that's the goal of stop making it so hard on yourself. The other thing, another point to this, not making it so hard on yourself, is that simplicity scales. So when you market to people that already have money, and you're not trying to have 7 different programs at the same time. I recently looked through all of the different things that we were selling inside of my business, and instead of a value ladder, we actually had a value maze. So something I'm really working on is simplifying, and how can I put more content into one thing, like a membership. Like, how can I have a membership that has coaching and all of the tiny offers that I've created and all of the different pieces of workshops, and I'm creating content all the time. So how do I work smarter instead of harder, and repurpose some of that learning content into a reoccurring model that is going to help house that in one place without me feeling like I'm scattered in all over the place. And then also having one really clear next step on the journey for people, because as the expert, I know exactly what people need next instead of guessing. So if I throw all of the offers I have out to people on a sales call, they're like, well, gosh, like this sounds good and this sounds good, and I want all of them, and then they don't make a decision. A confused buyer never buys. So the more I can be the expert and show up and tell them, like, no, actually, this is what you need next, it's going to help build trust. It's going to help them feel safe as the buyer, and it's going to make it a lot easier for us to continue building up that person, so that our offers in the future keep making sense for them. If we confuse them and they go away and they go hire someone else who's not as good as I am, it's going to be a lot harder process, right? So make sure you like it, or tell me you like it if you do. If you don't, you don't have to say anything. You can just be quiet. Just kidding. But yeah, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and thanks for being here. Talk to you soon. Bye.